Okay. Good morning, everyone. How are you doing today? Good morning, online. Good morning. Okay, so hope everyone are doing good. Thank you, you too, Zakir. um, what did we discuss in our last class? Route 53. So did anyone try it? Huh? Yes or no? No. So did anyone purchase with dot click? You purchased dot click. Completed practicals? Very good. So that's what I said. Dot click is a very cheapest domain. You can purchase it and you can do the practicals. Okay, that's fine. So those who have not done, so I hope that you have the recording, or at least you have wrote all these things in your book. So how to create records and all. Okay, so today let's move on to another important topic in AWS, and that is VPC. Which one is that? What's the full form of VPC? Virtual Private Cloud. So online, put in the chat, what's the full form of VPC? Virtual Private Cloud. So VPC is regional or global? VPC is regional. And how many VPCs you can have maximum per region? 5. And then till now we have been using the default VPC or not? So we have been using the default VPC, which is provided by AWS. Which is provided by what? AWS. So what I do is now, I'll show you one diagram. Just see the diagram for a few minutes and then try to list down what are the things it has. Simple as that. Okay. See the diagram and then try to just list down what are the things that you can see inside the diagrams. Manoj, just take a pic in your phone and then zoom it. I cannot make it bigger. So if I make it bigger, it will just come on your face. Online, put it in the chat. Okay. So, yeah, that's good. Okay, let's see together. So what is the outer layer? Generally we have AWS. Inside the AWS, what we have? Region. Inside the region, what we have? VPC. Inside the VPC, what we have? Availability zones. So how many availability zones are there here? Only one. Okay, that is very common thing. So that we know this already. But what extra that we have seen here is how many types of subnets are there here? Two subnets. What are those? Public subnet and then private subnet. Public subnet and then private subnet. And then in public subnet, what are the things that we have? Web servers, say that. And importantly, what is here? Say that one more time. NAT gateway. What's that? NAT gateway. In the private subnet, what we have here? Databases. And then what we have here? Internet gateway. Say that one more time. Internet gateway. And then what we have in the middle? A router. And what is this? Louder. Route table. This one. So before I talk about this, people will say VPC is a very difficult topic in AWS. The most difficult topic in AWS is people say what? VPC. But if you concentrate next few minutes, I'll make this VPC as a easiest service in AWS. Okay. So because people are missing the logics. So if you know the logics of how to set up architect the VPC, it is very easy to architect the VPC. Okay. And then if you understand, next few minutes are very crucial for you, or this class will be crucial for you, because this class, if you understand this class, next classes will be easy. And not only here, in DevOps also we'll get the same topics. In cloud formation also we'll get the same topic. So you don't know what is cloud formation, right? That will be the next service. Right? Okay, we'll talk about all these things. Okay. Okay. So please concentrate. So as I said, we will be talking about what here? VPC. What is that? Now, order is very, very, very important. What is that? Order is very important. So what is the first thing that we are learning here? VPC. Inside that we have here something called internet gateway. Say that. Internet gateway. Don't worry, I wrote everything in another slide. I'll just roughly write everything here. Okay. So internet gateway. After that, how many types of subnets are there? Two. What are those? Public subnet and then, very good, private subnet. Next, we have NAT gateway. Say that. And then we have routing tables. Say that. If you remember this, generally, when you're traveling in the train, what do you get? What number you get? PNR number, right? What number? So you should consider yourself as a VIP, right? So VIP PNR. See that? Say that one again. That is a shortcut if you want to remember. VIP PNR. Okay, V for VPC, I for Internet Gateway, P for Public Subnet. That is VIP. Next, PNR, Private Subnet, NAT Gateway, Routing Tables. So if you don't remember the tip also, hint also, forget about it. So let's go one by one again. What is the first thing? The VPC. Next, Internet Gateway. Next, Public Subnet, Private Subnet, NAT Gateway, Routing Tables. Can you tell me one more? Without saying, you should tell me. Last time. Yeah. VPC, Internet Gateway, Public Subnet, Private Subnet, NAT Gateway, Routing Tables. So this order you should remember that. We'll go one by one now. Okay. So VPC is the topic that we are learning here. So everything is VPC only here, right? So what we say, Nana, VPC is like a what do you call virtual private data center for us or not? Everything, whatever we are setting up, everything should be inside the VPC or outside the VPC? Inside the VPC. Everything should be inside the VPC. Whatever we have launched till now, EC2 instances, Beanstack, right, RDS and rest, there's so many services that we have learned in AWS. All the services we have used within the VPC or not? Yes. And AWS is providing a default VPC. Which one? So VPC is the one that we are learning the entire thing here. But inside that, let me ask you one question first. Till now, we have launched so many EC2 instances. So many EC2 instances. And you logged in inside the EC2 instance also. Can you tell me, do you have internet access inside the EC2 instance or not? Yes or no? Do we have internet access inside the EC2 instance? Answer is yes or no? Right answer. Answer is yes. Otherwise, how do you install so many things till now? We have done so many things, right, till now. So you have been downloaded. What is the command to install? Yum install. Yum install, you are installing something. That meaning you're getting downloaded from the internet. So definitely you have internet from the EC2 instances. So which is the component in the VPC which provide internet access to your VPC? Who is the guy who provide internet access to the VPC is internet gateway. Which one? Which one? So what is the job of internet gateway? To provide the internet to the VPC. Say that, to provide the internet to the VPC. Remember, shortcut, I'll write it as IGW. What is that? What is IGW meaning? So who this provide the internet? For your entire VPC, internet gateway is the one who provides the internet. Okay. Next. What is the next thing that what we have? Public subnets. What are the two types of subnets? Public subnets, private subnet. So what is the difference? Public subnet meaning which is exposed to the internet. What's that? Public subnet which is exposed to the internet. Private subnet meaning which is not exposed to the internet. For example, you have load balancer, web servers. All these things should be inside the public subnet or private subnet. Your load balancer, example, take let's say load balancer. Load balancer should be in the public subnet or private subnet? Public subnet. Otherwise, how that the customers can access your load balancer if it is private? So for that reason, so load balancer should be public. So anything which is exposed to the internet, we should keep it inside the which subnet? Public subnet. Let's say databases are there, app servers, application servers are there. Can you tell me that should be in public or private? That should be in private, because no one should be able to access our database servers from internet. That's why we keep it our private. Now you understand public subnet and private subnet. And what is subnet? We learned in EC2. One is availability zone. But remember we discussed in NACL concept. So subnet is a isolated network inside the VPC. What's that? Yes or no? I told you it's like your private bedrooms. In your house, bedroom is very private or not? So when isolated or not? And similarly here also, if you consider the entire home as a VPC, and inside you have your bedrooms, which is completely isolated. So those bedrooms here we call it as what? Subnets. What we call here? Subnets. Okay. And you know very well, one subnet is associated to one availability zone. One subnet can be in multiple availability zones. Answer is no. But one availability zone can have multiple subnets. Yes. We'll not be touching that, but yeah. Fine. So which is the component in the VPC provides internet access? Internet gateway. And if you want to expose your resources, AWS resources to internet, in which subnets do you keep? Public subnet. If you don't want to expose, then private subnet. Okay. Here I call it as public subnet. So public subnet which is exposed to where? Internet. Whereas private subnet not exposed. Okay. Nice. Okay, the question. See here. Listen carefully and think and tell me. This is public subnet and this is private. This is public subnet and this is private subnet. Let's talk about first one, public subnet. In public subnet, so many servers, everything will be there. Okay. Can you tell me all the traffic inside it? All the traffic which is generated inside the public subnet is routed to where? Think the diagram and tell me. All the traffic inside the public subnet should be routed to where? Okay, I'll give the hint. This is exposed to internet or not? If it is exposed to internet, the traffic should be inside the public subnet. Traffic should be routed to where? To expose the internet. Huh? Louder. Internet gateway. Which one? This is one first catch. I told you, VPC, there are few catches. If you catch those topics, it will be easier for you. So the first catch here is all the traffic, public subnet traffic. What traffic is this? Say it again. Public subnet traffic is routed to where? Internet gateway. Is routed to where? Internet gateway. What is it here? Router. Say that. Router. What is the job of the router? Routing purpose. So whatever the traffic that is coming, it will take it, and then based on the rule, it will then redirect or route it to the other way. So here also, but the good thing here is in AWS, we no need to create any routers. Router is inbuilt. Router is inbuilt. We no need to create separately any routers. Okay. So now here, forget about the router. But the thing is here, all the traffic inside the public subnet is routed to where, Nana? Internet gateway. That is very, very important. That is public subnet. I call it here. Public subnet is routed to where? Public subnet. What? Public subnet traffic is routed to internet gateway. Coming to the private subnet. Which one? Okay, the second one here is the private subnet. So private subnet, I have so many servers inside it. All the traffic inside the private subnet should route it to where now? Internet gateway. Then what is the difference between this public subnet and private subnet? Public subnet you are exposing to the internet gateway. That's why it has become public. And if private subnet also, if you are exposing to internet, and this will also become what? Public subnet. So is it good this private subnet to expose to the internet gateway? Answer is no. So for that reason, we have something called what? NAT gateway. Say that. Say that one more time. NAT gateway. So what is the full form of NAT? NAT, Network Address Translator. Say that. So the full form of NAT is Network Address Translator. Slowly tell me that. What it is translating? Network address. What is network address meaning? IP address. So what it is translating? IP address. Translating meaning here converting. What's that? Converting. So what it does is, see, listen carefully. This is database servers, no? Let's take this first server, 10.0.1.5. This is public subnet or private, so public IP or private IP? Private IP. So now this machine needs to talk to the internet. This machine need to have internet. So is it good directly to go to the internet gateway? No, because this will become the public, not good. For that reason, it should go to where? NAT gateway. It should go to NAT. So the job of the NAT is what? Is only one job for the NAT is to provide internet access to private subnet. Who is providing internet access to the private subnet? NAT gateway. Say that. But what NAT will do is, NAT will, what IP address is this? Private. NAT will convert this private IP to public IP. What it will convert? Private IP to public IP. So, okay, let's say this is 1.5. 1.5, 1.5, 1.5, 1.5, 1.5. It went to the internet NAT gateway. So now what the NAT will do? NAT will convert this 1.5 to some other public IP. So basically it is masking. What is doing? Masking meaning proxy. So it will not it will not expose the original identity. It will convert that to the public IP, and that public IP will go to the internet gateway outside. Got it? You're getting it? So here, private subnet will not be exposed directly to the internet because it will become again public. So for that reason, private subnet is routed, traffic is routed to where? NAT gateway. From NAT gateway, will go to where? Internet gateway. What is the job of the NAT? To provide internet to the VPC. To the private subnet. So what is the job of the NAT gateway? Again say, to provide the internet to the private. That is the only job of the NAT gateway. So, but what NAT gateway will do? It will convert the what IP? Private IP to public IP. These are the two things from the NAT. Understood? Online getting it? So again, I'm saying here, let me ask you questions. Private subnet traffic is routed to another catch. Say that. Private subnet traffic is routed to NAT gateway. Say that. NAT gateway. Public subnet traffic is routed to internet gateway. Two important things. Public subnet traffic is routed to internet gateway. Private subnet traffic is routed to NAT gateway. What is the full form of NAT? Network Address Translator. So what is the purpose of the NAT? To convert private IP to public. What is the job of the NAT? To provide internet to private subnet. Understood? Online got it? Not required, Ranjan. Does NAT is required for the public subnet? No. NAT job is only to provide internet to private subnet. But there is one question. Sir, then why do so NAT gateway should be inside the public subnet or private subnet? I'm asking, NAT gateway should present in which subnet? Public subnet or private subnet? Public, huh? Why? See here, NAT gateway should sit inside the public subnet. Why? Just example, NAT gateway is here in the private subnet. How does the NAT gateway will have internet access then? It doesn't have, right? So for that reason, in order to expose NAT to the internet, we need to keep NAT in the public subnet. So NAT gateway should be present in. Understood? So NAT gateway should be inside the public subnet. But NAT gateway works for private subnet. Got the point? Online, this is clear on this? Very, very important topic. Okay, one more time, question. Public subnet traffic is routed to internet gateway. Private subnet traffic is routed to NAT gateway. So what is the full form of NAT? Network Address Translator. And what is the purpose of the NAT? To convert the private IP to public IP. And what is the job of the NAT? To provide internet to private subnet. Where should I keep the NAT? In the public. Super. Nice. So we are talking about VPC. We know internet gateway. We know public subnet. We know private subnet. We know NAT gateway. What is the next thing here? Routing tables. Say that. Routing tables. As the name clearly says, it is all about routing. Hey, you come here and then go there. You come here, you go there. What is that called? Routing. What is that called here? Routing. So what is this routing here? Traffic. What is routing? So anywhere. So we have different subnets, right? Public subnet, private subnet we have. And by the way, tell me one question. How many subnets are there here? These are types of subnet. How many types of subnet? Two. What are those? Public subnet, private subnet. But do we need only two subnets? We can have multiple subnets or not? Yes or no? Here in the diagram, as I don't have space, this diagram has only how many subnets? 2 subnets. But can we have multiple subnets? Answer is yes. Okay. Can I have 2 public subnets and 2 private subnets? Possible. 5 public subnet and 5 private subnets? Okay. And 1 public subnet and 3 private subnets? Okay. All public subnets? Yes or no? Yes. All private subnets? Your wish. Oh, your wish, Nana. Your wish. Right? All private subnets. Fine, no. Then how do you connect? VPN is there, no? From company to AWS, what we have? What is a VPN? Is it private to private or not? Yes, we can have. So, however you want, you can have, you can create the subnets. Okay. But my question here is, you created two public subnet, 2 private subnet. Why you are calling as public subnet? Why you are calling as private subnet? You created 4 subnets. How many subnets you created? 1, 2, 3, 4 subnets you created. Okay. Tell me, which one are 2 public subnets here? Tell me, which one are 2 public subnets here? What? 1, 3, Okay. Which one are private? Why you selected, why you like this? Correct. Why you decided as 1, 3? Can't you go for 1, 2? Tell me that. Okay, tell me. Which are all public subnets? 1, 2. Private? Tell me one more possibility. 1, 4. Tell me one more possibility. So you're playing here. So the question is, by seeing that line, how do you know that, okay, this is public, this is private? How? So there is a logic. See, Nana, these are all subnets. Subnets are same. But you need to tell a subnet, you will be public and you will be private. Why? If this subnet is routed to internet gateway, if this subnet is routed to internet gateway, then which subnet I call this as? Public subnet. If this subnet, I am routing it to NAT, then this I call it as what? Private subnet. How many subnets that you have in that particular subnet is routing to internet gateway, that subnet is called public. And if particular subnet is routing to the NAT, then we call it as what? Private. Understand the logic? Then you no need to tell 1, 2, 1, 4, 3, 4, 2, 4, 1, 4, 3, nothing. Okay. Okay. So is this clear on this? Online? Now question for you. So next, what we have learned about VPC, internet gateway, public subnet, private subnet, NAT. What's the next one here? Routing tables. There are 2 types of routing tables again. How many types of routing tables? Public routing table, private routing table. Say that. Louder. Public routing table, private routing table. How you have public subnet and private subnet? Similarly, we have public routing table and then private routing table. Okay. Question. Public routing table. All traffic is routed to. Very good. What is that? Internet. Louder. In public routing table, all traffic is routed to internet gateway. Okay. Which subnet should I associate it? Public subnet or private subnet? Public subnet. Very good. Catch. That's it. See, in public, there are 2 types of routing tables. What are those? Public routing table and then private routing table. Okay. So in public routing table, all traffic is routed to where? Internet gateway. And which subnet is associated? That's it. Public subnet is associated. Similarly, in private routing table, all traffic is routed to NAT gateway. And which subnet is associated? Private subnet is associated. Which one? Private. Understood this? Online getting it? If you understand till here, you can easily do the architecting of VPC. Perfect, huh? Let me ask you the questions and then I'll move to the next one if I get a confidence on you. Okay? See here. So what is the outer layer that we create? VPC. What does we have inside the VPC? Region. Inside the region, availability zones. So, of course, AWS, inside it region, inside the VPC, inside it what we have? Availability zones. Inside the availability zones, we have subnets. What we have here? And that each subnet is associated to the availability zones. Understood? That can be 1, 2, 3. How many availability zones are there in Mumbai? 3. So how many subnets that AWS by default is giving? 3. Okay, I have one question here. Let's see you are smart or not. See, in Mumbai, how many subnets are there? 3 subnets. How many subnets are there? 3 subnets. Tell me, think and answer. These 3 subnets are public subnets, private subnets, both. Think and answer. Take a minute and answer. Logically think it. Don't see there. You tell, you think and tell. It's already there. There is no your wish. Huh? Public, huh? Super good. Yes, reason. Exposing to internet, huh? Okay. So what you said is perfectly correct. But the reason is, so if you say both, okay, let's say we have 3 possible answers. Number 1, public. Number 2, private. Number 3, both. Let's go one by one. Okay. Those who are saying private, you have launched EC2 instances in 1A. Did you launch? And are you able to connect? Yes or no? You're able to connect to the 1A? Yes. If you are able to connect, that is public subnet or private subnet? Public, right? Because you are able to connect. Did you launch EC2 instance in 1B also? Did you able to connect? Yes. And that is public or private? So 1A is public, 1B is also public, 1C is also public. So all 3 are. If it is private, will you able to connect at all? So that is the logic behind it. Right? The answer is what? Public. Both are? No, it is only public. Remember. Okay, good. Stalking something. Yeah. Okay, let me ask the questions and fatafat answer it, guys. Okay. So tell me the order first. VPC, Internet Gateway, Public Subnet, Private Subnet, NAT Gateway, Routing Table. VIP PNR. Okay, fine. You are easily saying VIP PNR, online mapping. So, okay. Which is the component in the VPC provide internet? Internet Gateway. Which one? How many types of subnets are there? 2 types. What are those? Public subnet and then private subnet. Public subnet and private subnet. And what is public subnet? Which is exposed to internet. What is private subnet? Which is not exposed to internet. And all the public subnet traffic is routed to internet gateway. Private subnet traffic is routed to NAT gateway. What is the full form of NAT? Network Address Translator. What is the purpose of the NAT? It convert private IP to public IP. What is the job of the NAT? To provide internet to private subnet. NAT gateway should be in which subnet? Public subnet. And remember that NAT gateway, we need to assign one elastic IP. Remember that. Which one we need to assign? For NAT gateway, elastic IP is mandatory. And then next one is routing tables. How many types of routing tables? Two. What are those? Public routing table, private routing table. Public RT. RT meaning here? Routing table. Shortcut I put. So public routing table. All traffic is routed to internet gateway. And which subnet is associated? Public subnet. And in the private routing table, all traffic is routed to NAT gateway. And which subnet is associated? Atom. Registered, injected, right? Super. And I bet I'll make you to create VPCs by yourself. Generally, I need to show you practicals how to architect the VPC, right? Which people say very difficult. Now, you will be telling it and I'll be doing it. Okay? Not now. We have still time. Okay. Okay. See here, Nana? So now we know, you know why NAT gateway in the public subnet. Yes or no? You know what is internet gateway. You know what is router. You know what is all these things. And do you have these two dabbas are there? No? Let's see here. What are these two dabbas? Route tables. What are these two dabbas here? Route tables. So one dabba is attached to public. This dabba is attached to, this dabba is nothing but public routing table. This one is private routing. In public routing table, all traffic, what's that? All traffic is routed to internet gateway. All traffic meaning what? 0.0.0.0. How do you pronounce this? How do you pronounce? Say, okay, I wrote this. How do I read it? What is this? Now, we Indians will read what? Wow, okay. How will we read? 0.0.0.0. And little bit higher level, they'll say 0.0.0.0. Right? But when I was working in one of the consultant in Finland, they say like this as, oh. And I still remember that joke. He was saying that, I was asking that, okay, what is the network range I need to provide? He said, oh. I was thinking he's singing some song. Right? So it is O, 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 O. So remember, whenever you're talking to US customers, right? So see here, Abhiram, he's from US, no? He's saying same here in US also. I was taking, okay, when you're talking especially to US customers, so when they say like O, that meaning it is 0. Remember. Because why I said, because sometimes your interview will be taken by the US clients, and if they ask about, can you tell me about what is this O, don't start singing a song, okay? It is O, meaning 0.0.0.0. All traffic. Okay, so here, in this is what subnet is, what routing table is this? Public routing table. In that public routing table, all traffic is routed to, see, internet gateway. In private routing table, all traffic is routed to NAT gateway. Got the point? And there will, by default, one route will be there. This is a local route. What is that? Is that local route? You don't need to worry about that. Okay. Now, as you know, let me extend a little bit here. I am sitting here in the internet. This is my laptop. Can I connect from my laptop to the web servers? Yes or no? Yes or no? Answer is yes. Why? Because it is a public subnet. Can I connect from my laptop to this? No. Why? Private subnet. But I have a requirement now to connect from my laptop to the private subnet. How do we do this? So for that, we need to launch one EC2 instance. What we need to launch? And this EC2 instance, I call it as Bastion server or Jump server. Say that? Which one do you like? Bastion, would you like to say Bastion or jump? Both are same only. Which one you want? So I'll refer that as that. Bastion, Okay, so let's go with what? Bastion server, or people call it as Bastion host. What's that? Bastion host or Bastion server. Okay. So in order to connect, what you need to do is from your laptop, first you need to connect to where? This EC2 is nothing but Bastion server, and from Bastion server you need to connect to the private servers. Understood? Yes, Bastion server, Abhiram, that should be in public. That's why I kept it in which subnet? Public subnet. So from your laptop, you need to connect to where? Bastion server first. From Bastion, you can connect to the private servers, because private subnet is not exposed to the internet. But sir, in the real time, do we need to connect like this all the time? Because in real time, will you be in the internet, or will you be in the company? You will be here in the company. This is your company. Company will have the public network or private network. You'll be having the private network. How are you connecting from company to AWS? Very good. Using what? VPN. This VPN is private or public? Private to private. So if you are sitting here, listen carefully. If you are sitting here in the company, and if you want to connect to your database servers, will you connect like this? Will you connect like this? This. First, second, third. Third one. So because you have what here? VPN. So you are not in the internet. You are not in the internet. So this is the reason why I said, if you don't have the public subnet also, if you have only the private subnets, can you connect from here to here or not? Yes. Because we have what here? VPN. Got it now? Online? Okay. This is your actual real-time scenario, number one. And then number two is, nowadays, everyone need that. What is this? And if you are working there, work from home. What is that? Work from home. Okay. So this is your sweet home. And then you are sitting here with your laptop. Now tell me, and as a manager, I ask you, hey, you are working from home. Please connect to database servers. Tell me the way. Will you connect like this? That is number one. Will you connect like this? One or two? Yes. So you can connect like this also. Like this also. But that is not the ideal way to connect it. Because your company will give you the VPN to install on your laptop. Yes, this VPN is different. Your company will give the install VPN in your laptop, so that your laptop need to get to connected to which first? Company first. Because in your home, you will be in your own public network or not. So if you open the VPN and connect to the company, so this company IP address will be assigned to your laptop. That meaning virtually, physically you will be inside the home, but virtually your laptop will be inside the company network. As from company to AWS, already you have the VPN. So from here to here, you can directly connect or not. If you don't have company VPN, then what you need to go? You need to go like this. Understood? This is called architecting. What is this called? Now tell me, this is first scenario, this is second scenario, and this is third scenario. In our course, now, if I want to show you the practicals, which scenario I should show? 1 or 2 or 3? Obviously, all how possible? Is it possible? We are not in home. If home also I can do like this, yes or no? Okay, I'll be showing you one, this 3, 2. This one possible, huh? Not possible. Because we need to have a company and the company to have a VPN from here to here. So for that reason, we'll go with what here? Third scenario. Okay. So guys, if you don't have company VPN, these two is both are same or different? Same. The only thing is here you are sitting in somewhere in the park. Here you are sitting inside the home. You are using same that bloody 1.5 GB mobile network. Anywhere is same or not? Okay. Is it clear, guys, everyone, till here? So our job here is now to architect the VPC. Whatever I have told you, we need to convert that into practicals. Till where? Till we will be launching the EC2 instance, that is Bastion server in which network? In which subnet? Public subnet. And I launch one more EC2 instance in the private. So what is my whole goal is, from my laptop I'll connect to the Bastion. From Bastion I need to connect to the private server. That is my whole concept. Will you give me the steps to design all these things? You already know the steps now. And before that, I'll tell you one small including here. See, whenever you're creating a new VPC, what's that? Whenever you're creating a new VPC. Okay, before that, are we using a default VPC till now or not? Are we using the default security group or not? Are we using the default subnets or not? Are we using the default things, everything or not till now? It's enough. Till now you are using the VPC, default VPCs. Till now you are using the default security groups. Till now you are using the default subnets and networks. Its time has come to create our own VPC. Time has come to create our own security groups. The time has come to set up our own infrastructure. Who will come with me to set up? I was just kidding. Okay. The thing is, guys, here, till now we have been using the default things. From now onwards, no more defaults. Because the time has come to set up our own VPCs. Right? So for that reason, whenever you create your own VPC, a default security group will come again. Yes or no? Whenever you create a new VPC, a default security group will come automatically. Right? But should we use the default security group? No. We will create our own security group. Guys, till now I told you that don't create a new security group. Whenever the time will come that we will create our own security group, the time has come, we will create it. Okay, now, now let us go and then write the steps how to architect the VPC. You tell me, I'll keep on writing it. Ready? Ready? Okay. What is the first step? We need to create a VPC. What we need to create a VPC. What's the next step? Order. You apply that order. Okay, what's the next thing? Create a internet gateway. Once you create an internet gateway, it will be orphan. Like, it is in detached mode. Which mode? What we need to? We need to attach to whom? VPC. So remember, create an internet gateway and attach to the VPC. Very good. Next. What's the next step? Create public subnet. Very good. Next. Create private subnet. Next. Create a NAT gateway. Create NAT gateway. So this NAT gateway should be in which subnet? Public subnet. And this NAT gateway need to have one elastic IP. What's the next step? Create Which routing table? Public RT. And all traffic, this all traffic is routed to you tell, I'll write. And I said all traffic is routed to internet gateway. And which subnet is associated? Public subnet is associated. Next, create this side. Create, come front. Attention. Don't be. Next, create private routing table. All traffic is routed to, very good, NAT. And which subnet is associated? Private subnet is associated. Next, launch EC2. Before that, I told you, create a new security group. And then if you are using Linux, go for SSH. If you are using Windows, go for RDP. Next, launch EC2 instance. In which subnet? Public subnet. What is the EC2 instance called? Bastion host. Right? And then another one, launch another EC2 instance in private subnet. Call it as private server or DB server, whichever it is. What's the next step? Connect to the DB server through Bastion host. If you're able to do this, architecting the VPC is done. You understood these 11 steps? These 11 steps should print in your brain like a stamp. Right? Clear enough? All these steps? Read with me without seeing. Tell me. What is the first step? Create a VPC. Next, create internet gateway and attach to VPC. Next, create public subnet. Next, create private subnet. Next, create a NAT gateway. NAT gateway should be in which subnet? Public subnet. And one elastic IP need to be assigned. Next, create a public routing table. All traffic is routed to internet gateway. And which subnet is associated? Public subnet. And then next one, private routing table. All traffic is routed to NAT. Which subnet is associated? Private subnet. And then next, create a security group. And then launch EC2 instance in public subnet. What is the EC2 instance called? Bastion. Which one? Bastion. And then again launch one more EC2 instance in the private subnet. And then what is the goal now? To connect to the private DB server from Bastion host. If you do this, we'll do the same practicals. These 11 steps you should keep on telling me and I'll be doing it. That's how you should. Okay? Is this clear till here, everyone? Okay. Ranjan. So work from home scenario here is you will be having your company laptop, not your personal laptop. Company will give the laptop or not? Company will give the laptop which has the VPN installed inside it. So open that VPN, connect it. So if you connect it, that will go and connect it to the company network, and company to AWS, you already have anyways the VPN. So you'll be connecting like this to this. Online, can you give me the CC till here, please? Clear? Nice. Okay. Remember, this NAT gateway and internet gateway, they both are services. Both are not servers. Not? Those are services, Nana. I still remember. I've been using this AWS since a decade, right? When AWS was very new, there was no NAT gateway. There was only NAT instance. Say that. Our EC2 instance is there, right? So that EC2 instance, we'll set up a EC2 instance, I'll install a NAT gateway software inside it. NAT software. What is that? NAT software. And this is the EC2 instance. It is managed by me only. You launch one EC2 instance, install the NAT software, and this will become a NAT instance. Say that. And I'll be using this NAT instance for our which subnet? Private subnet. Which subnet? But if private subnet people are trying to use my NAT instance, as this is T2 micro, T2 small, there is a chance that this machine will go down or not. If it goes down, NAT instance goes down, do we have internet access to the private subnet? No. So people start shouting at me again. So my internet is not working from the private subnet. Then when I go and check, this is down. So this is quite frequently happening in previous years. So for that reason, so AWS said that, hey customer, you no need to manage the NAT instance anymore. I will give you a service called NAT Gateway. Which one? That is one we are using it now. So do we need to worry about the performance? Anything about the NAT Gateway here now? Similarly, Internet Gateway also. Internet Gateway and NAT Gateway both are services, not servers. NAT instance concept is outdated. Anyone using NAT instance? NAT Gateway, we are managed by AWS. Internet Gateway, NAT Gateway, both are managed by AWS. Clear? Okay, now I'm giving you one real-time scenario to you. You tell me how do we do it. Okay. You're working for a customer. Okay. You're working for a customer. And customer said, please architect the VPC. And you took this and then you architect the entire VPC. Public, private, subnets, everything. And he said, wow. And again he said, I have one small question. I don't want internet in the private subnet, he said. What is it? I don't want internet in the private subnet. What will you do? Remove? Online? Remove NAT gateway, you said, correct? How many subnets are there? Here, 2. But can I create multiple subnets? 1, 2, 3, 4, whichever you want. 5, okay. This is which subnet? Public? Okay, pub. This one? Private, PVT. This one? Pub. This? Pub. This? Okay. This is how you create it. Why you said pub? Because it is routing to? Why this is internet. This is internet. This is NAT. So customer said, oh wow, you have created 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 subnets. Really good. Okay. This guy, the second wala, which one? Private subnet. I don't want internet for this. You created a NAT here. This bloody NAT is giving internet access to this and internet access to this. Now he said, I don't want internet access here for this subnet. And you guys are telling, delete NAT. Delete. If we delete the NAT, do you get internet access here? Very good. Then what we do here now? Huh? What we do? So we need to do something in the route table or not? Very good answer. That's why I said intelligent. Very good. Route table. What is that? Now here in route table, we have given simply instead of deleting the NAT completely here, instead of deleting the NAT, simply what we do? We delete the route entry or not in the route table. In the route table, all traffic is routed to the internet gateway. Just remove this route. Only this subnet will not be routing here. Rest all the subnets will be routing to the NAT. So remember, instead of deleting the NAT gateway, you need to delete what? Route entry. So remember, every time we deal with what? Route entries only. Got the point? Another requirement. Another scenario. Another scenario here is, customer said, okay, I don't want internet. What is that? I don't want internet to the private subnet. I don't want internet to the private subnet. But I want to access AWS services like S3. From where? Private subnet. You understood the question? He said, I don't want internet to the private subnet, but I still want to access what? AWS services like S3. AWS services like S3. So can you tell me, first of all, will you able to try to access AWS services without internet? Answer is no. Definitely we need to have what? Internet. But we don't have internet, but he still want to access S3. Not only S3, any AWS service. Example, I'm taking what? S3. How? You cannot answer this because there is a topic here. So that topic name here is VPC endpoints. Say that. VPC endpoints. What is that? VPC endpoints. So VPC endpoints will help you to give AWS services access to the private subnet without internet. Without internet meaning without NAT. Without what? NAT. So here, see here guys. So we will not be deleting the NAT. NAT will be still there. Okay, see here. For this subnet, remember, see, listen. For this subnet, private subnet, customer says that I don't want internet access. Simply what you did, you deleted the route entry. Yes or no? Route table, you delete the route entry. But for this private subnet, he said, I don't want also internet for this, but I want to access what? AWS services. I want to access what? AWS services. For this, what is the concept we need to use in a VPC endpoints? So we need to create a VPC endpoint separately. What this VPC endpoints will do, again, we need to route and we need to add an entry which is routing to where? VPC endpoint. VPC endpoints will give you only access to AWS services. Will you give access to the internet services? Only. It's just like a private tunnel, Nana. What is that? It's just like a private tunnel where within the AWS. You have the private subnet. Generally, if you want to access AWS services, you need internet. Generally, we need to have internet gateway or NAT gateway in order to go outside. But without going to NAT, without going to the internet, going outside, AWS is routing the traffic because it is AWS services only, no? So within the VPC only, there is a tunnel which is going and talking to S3. That tunnel is nothing but VPC endpoint. Got the point? So VPC endpoint will provide only access to which services? AWS services. Will it provide access to normal internet? But NAT gateway will provide everything or not? NAT gateway will provide AWS services also, normal internet also, it provides everything. If you remove the NAT entry, no internet at all. Okay, no internet, but I still want to access AWS services, then go for endpoint. Which endpoint? VPC endpoint. Say completely VPC, because endpoint concept is different. What is that here? VPC endpoint. Got it, guys? Everyone? So who has full internet access? NAT. Who has only AWS services access? VPC endpoint. Online, is this clear till here, everyone, please? Super. Okay. Here we have topic called CIDR. Say that. People call it as CIDR, or people also call it as CIDR. Say that. CIDR. CIDR. What is that? CIDR. Not spider. CIDR. What is that? Classless interdomain routing. What's the full form of CIDR? Classless interdomain routing. Very important topic. See. Do you remember you launched so many EC2 instances till now, right? And EC2 instance, okay, let's see whether you can remember this one. EC2 instance by default has what type of IP? Public IP is, where is the sticker? Huh? Public IP is mandatory or optional? Option. Then what I'm saying, what is the default IP that you have? Private IP. Which IP? Yes or no? Public IP is optional. Private IP is mandatory. So whenever you launch an EC2 instance, automatically you'll get what? Private IP. Do you remember the starting network of the private IP? IP range? What is that? 172.31. What is that? 172.31. I told you on that day, please remember this range. We'll be talking about this later. Later meaning this much time. Right? So 172.31 series. What's that? So whenever you launch an EC2 instance, automatically 172.31 series is getting allocated. How? Why? Why not some other network? Why only 172.31? I'll tell you. So here, whenever you are setting up a VPC, you need to create a VPC or not? First of all, what you need to create? What's the first step? Create VPC. What we need to create first? VPC. So if you want to create a VPC, you need to give the CIDR range. What do you need to give? CIDR range is nothing but network range. What is that? So if you want to construct your own house in your hometown, you need to have a land. So what is generally whenever we go, that guy will show you, sir, from here to there. Yes or no? The first thing that he'll say, he will tell that only, right? From here to that stone, right? This is your area. So someone should come and tell this is our area. Then only we can construct. Yes or no? Will you go and construct in next to the park area? No, we cannot. That is another range. So the municipal commissioner, whoever it is, those people will come and then allocate the land for us. Then only we'll be constructing the building there. Similarly here also, if you want to create a VPC in the AWS, your company network administrator will be there, no? Who? Company side. Company network administrator will be there now. He will give you the range. Babu, this is the range that you should create, VPC. You cannot blindly go ahead and create a VPC. No. So, because assume this is a company. See, this is a company. This is AWS. So you are creating a VPC over here. You are creating a VPC. End of the day, you are sitting here. You are sitting here and working. End of the day, you need to connect from here to here or not? Can you tell me your company network and your VPC, they both share in the same network or different network? Same. For that reason, you need to create the VPC network similar to your company. Then only VPN will be established. Then only VPN will be established. Yes or no? So for that reason, this company network and then your VPC network, they both should be the same. For that reason, we need to go and ask, do we know the company network range? We don't know. As a AWS engineer, we don't know, because that is managed by company network engineer. So you need to go to the network engineer and say, Babu, network engineer, I am going to create a VPC in AWS. Can you please give me the range? So what he'll give? He'll give the range. With that range, we need to create a VPC. With that range, we need to create a VPC. Example, he has given a VPC range like this. 192.168.00.16. Say that. Say that. No need to say dot 192.168.0.0. By the time flight will be off, right? So little bit more experience, you should say 192.168.0.0.16. So whenever say automatically you understand that's a range. 192.168.0.0.16. Say that range. Sir, why did you give only 192.168.0.0.16? So this is given by whom? Network administrator. So generally, guys, online experience people, in your companies, you will be having 192 series, 10 series, 172 series. Only these three series will be there. Yes or no? Online experience people. Your company laptops, your laptops will be, IP address will be starting with either 192 or 10 or 172. 172. If you don't know, just open the command prompt and put IP config, you will get it. Now, these are used for what purpose? Private purpose. What purpose, Anna? What are the ranges? 192 range, 10 range, 172 range. These three ranges mostly used for private. Rest are all public. Rest are all what? Public. Got it? Okay. Guys, so for that reason, our company is using 192.168. That's why I put it as 192.168 range. Okay. The first 192.168.0.0, we call it as base IP. Say that. /16, we call it as subnet mask. Say that. One more time. Subnet mask. So base IP and then subnet mask. Tell me. Base IP and subnet mask. Base IP and subnet mask will be provided by your network administrator only. But here, what is subnet mask? Let us see. Okay. So with this range, you have set up a VPC. With this range, you have set up a VPC. Nothing. There is a button called create VPC in AWS console. And last, Babu, give me the CIDR. What is the CIDR you are giving? Tell me, what is the CIDR you are giving? 192.168.0.0.16. Click on create VPC. VPC get created. VPC, to make you understand, I'm putting this round symbol. Don't think VPC will be like this in round. No, just an example. Okay. So inside the VPC, what we have? Subnets. What we have? How many subnets can you create? Only 2 or 3 or 4 or Visha? So I'll create, for example, here 1, 2, and 3. How many subnets are there? 3 subnets. How many subnets? 1, 2, 3. 3 subnets. So, guys, for the subnets also, I need to give the CIDR. I need to give the range. So, for the subnets also, I need to give the range. Tell me, what is the base IP? 192.168. Next, what we have? 0.0, right? Instead of 0.0, you need to start with, let's start our network with the number 1. 1.0. Say that. /24. Say that. What is 24/24? Subnet mask. I'll teach you about that. Hold on. So what is the range? What is the network range I created? What's the CIDR for this? 192.168? 1.0. Say that. Continuous. Tell me. 192.168, 1.0. 192.168, 1.0. Tell me. 192.168, 1.0/24. This is one subnet. Tell me the next subnet. 192.168, 2.0/24. Next. 192.168, 3.0/24. Like this, 4.0, 5.0, 6.0, 254.0 we can create. So many subnets we can create. Okay? Okay, fine. How many subnets I have created now? Okay. I call this as what subnet, for example? I call it as public subnet. This one? Private. Third one? Private, huh? Okay, let's go. Why I call this as public subnet? Because routing to, say that. Because it is routing to internet gateway. This one, it is routing to NAT gateway. And this is routing to NAT. But can I route it to also VPC endpoints? And that is also still private or not? Super. Next. Each subnet is associated to one availability zone. Can I associate this as 1A? This one too? This one? Can you tell me one more subnet here? 192.168.4.0. This 4.0 should be in which availability zone? 1? 1D or 1A na? 1A sir, yeah. 1D is not there. Okay, that's we go for 1A. Good, but I'm not creating it. 3 subnets are enough. Is this clear? Nice. Now let's go to here what is called subnet mask. Say that. Now a subnet mask, I'll make it very simple. See, subnet mask will tell you how many IPs that do you get inside the subnet. How many IPs that you get. Now, how many IPs, if you know, those many EC2 instances will launch or not? I'll tell. This is one subnet. This room is one subnet. How many seats are there? Let's say 50. How many? 50 IP addresses in this room. 50 seats in this room can be accommodated. Yes or no? 50 seats meaning indirectly how many students will sit here? 50. So here also, that subnet mask will decide how many IP addresses that you get inside the subnets. That will decide how many EC2 instances that will be launching inside it. Should we calculate here? How many IPs? I'll tell you one small formula. 2 power 32 minus n. Say that. 2 power 32 minus n. Say that one more time formula. Now what is the subnet mask we are using here? Slash 24. Slash replace, substitute that 24 in that n. Substitute. Tell me 2 power 32 minus 24. How much is that? 2 power 8. How much is 2 power 8? 2 2 jar 4. 2 2 jar 4. 2 4 jar. ఎప్పుడు 11 కా 10:30? Okay. So 2 power 8. 2 power 8 is what? 2 2s 4, 4 2s 8, 8 2s 16, 16 2s 32, 32 2s 64, 64 2s 128, 128 2s 256. Yeah. So how much is that? 256. And in this 256, you need to take out 5 IP addresses. How many? Then it will become 251. Guys, it become what? 251. So why you need to take out 5 IP addresses is, for every subnet, 5 IP addresses are reserved. 5 IP addresses are. So that's why must and should you need to take out. Those 5 IP addresses are .0, say that, .1, .2, .3, 255. How many are there? 5. .0, .1, .2, .3. So .0 is for what purpose? It is reserved for network. .1 it is for reserved for routing purpose. .2 it is for DNS purpose. .3 is for future purpose. So .255 is for broadcasting. Say that. So these IP addresses are reserved. So many certification questions you will get in VPC. Okay. Okay, now that is the reason why 5 IP addresses we will be removing it. Now you understand how many IP addresses that you got here? 251. So that meaning indirectly how many EC2 instances you can launch in this subnet? 251. If you go for /24. Sir, if I go for /20, should you calculate? Tell me 2 power 32 minus 20. How much? 2 power 12. How much? Don't worry. 4096. How many IP addresses? 4091. So guys, if you see the difference, /24 or /20. If I put /20, you know how many IP addresses you got? 4091 IP addresses. Increasing or not? If the subnet mask is decreasing, number of IPs are increasing. Okay. If I put, what is there here? /16. /16, let's go. 2 power 32 minus 16. How much? 2 power 16. 2 power 16 is 65,536. 65,536 minus 5. How much? 65,536. 531. Guys, these many IP address you get for what? For what? /16. 65,000. So guys, now when you're creating a subnet mask, will you randomly, blindly go and select the subnet mask? Just imagine for 16 only you get these many. If you put Pusuko/8, you get so many IP addresses. You should not waste the IP addresses. So for your subnet, how much is the requirement? You need to put that particular subnet mask. Clear enough? Online is clear, everyone? Okay. So now tell me, do you remember the steps that we created? What's the first step? Create. Fatafat, tell me. Create VPC. What's the range of the VPC we create? 192, 168, 00, 16. I want these numbers. Okay, next. Create internet gateway and attach. Okay, next. Create public subnet. Okay, create subnet. What is the range? 192, 168, 1.0/24. Very good. Next, private range 192, 168, 2.0/24. Next, create a NAT. NAT should be in which subnet? Public subnet. And what is associated for it? Elastic IP. What is that? Next, public route enable. All traffic meaning say that 0.0.0 routed to internet gateway. Which subnet is associated? Public subnet is associated. Same. Private RT. All traffic is routed to NAT gateway. Which subnet is associated? Private subnet is associated. Okay, next. Create a security group. No. Create a security group. Next. Launch Bastion server. Next. Launch DB server. Next. Log into Bastion to DB server. These are the practice we'll be doing tomorrow. Clear? Now tell me, VPC is easy or difficult? Only my students will say VPC is easy. Because if you understand the order is important or not? Super. So this guy said there is a next class. So please take the screenshots meanwhile. Okay. Okay, ma. So what I want you to do is go through these 2 paints before coming to tomorrow's class, especially this one, the 11 steps. Okay. So you keep on telling, I'll be doing the practicals tomorrow on this. Okay. And then we still have topics in VPC. 2 VPCs will communicate with each other by default. Yes or no? Answer is no. If required, yes. How? VPC peering. Say that. One VPC, another VPC. What we need to set up? Peering. What is that? Peering. We'll do the peering tomorrow. Not tomorrow, when time comes. Okay. Can I get the final CC for today, please, online? So that is all for today. Let's connect tomorrow with the VPC practicals. Until then, take care. Have a nice day. See you tomorrow. Don't miss the class. Bye-bye.